we moved here, as I said, in 1998 from Canada. And people wondered if I missed my old home since I'd been there 32 years. And I said, well, I feel as though I left home to come home because the atmosphere was so good, wonderful reception I received, and I was just welcomed into the family immediately. So when I came, my wife and I drove up into the gravel parking lot and went in and met everybody and saw the library in a trailer. We got back out, got in the car, and my wife said, "Are you disappointed?" I said, "No, this is what I've come for."
Aww.
And I had the privilege of building a library before, and so I had a staff of 6. There were 6 of us, and I had as many as 25 student workers at a time working 10 hours a week.
Wow.
So I had a going concern there. I was the system administrator for automated system serving 5 libraries. And then I came to a trailer with some books in it. And are you disappointed? No, this is what I came for. And so it's been my privilege to work with the library through the years. And Dr. Geisler was wonderful. What a privilege to work with a man like that, a giant. And he would say, "We need to get more books." And I would say, "Well, we've run out of money." And he'd come back a couple hours later, a couple days later, say, "I got $2,000 for you." And so it was so good to work with a man who valued libraries and wanted the library to grow. And I had full support. And it was just wonderful working with everyone. So we began, I think there were, well, I've lost track of numbers. But in this trailer house, we had, I don't know, 12, 15, 18,000 volumes. I forget what we had. And built a trailer house, a trailer, and the bathroom had books stored in it, boxes. And then the church loaned us, we used the church for classrooms and restrooms, and the church loaned us their storage shed for library. So one Saturday, Dr. Geisler and I were in the dirt under the shed, putting beams under the shed to support books.
That's awesome.
Terry Olson will build a handicap access to this building. And he was just wonderful. What president, what seminary president is going to be crawling around the dirt under a building? And he loved it, physical labor. So we had a wonderful relationship. Things worked out really well. The library grew. And then in 2003, we moved into the new facility on Tilly Morris Road. A very functional building. And so we had a nice library there. And while the building was under construction, faculty members, people would come in and say, "Oh, this is huge," thinking of what we had before in the trailer. And my grandchildren were visiting one day, and I took them to see where I was going to work. And these 6, 7-year-old kids looked at it with the steel studs around this area for the library. And one of them said, "Grandpa, it's not very big." Different perspectives. So faculty were looking at what we had before, comparing it, my grandchildren, thinking what it should be. And so through the years, we filled that room and expanded into it. We're going very well. 2008, we doubled the size of the whole facility, doubling the size of the library. And I have a friend who buys and sells libraries, and we bought used shelving from him. And with volunteer help, I got this pallet loads of steel shelving in this room. And they helped me clean it. It had been stored in a warehouse somewhere. It was all dirty. And so volunteers helped me clean it all up. And I laid out a grid on the floor with chalk lines. And with volunteer help, we constructed the shelving. And one of our students had a 7-year-old son who came, and he wanted to help too. So I gave him a 5-gallon pail full of little tiny bolts and nuts and washers, and gave him some plastic buckets, and he sorted the little bolts and nuts for me. And so we had volunteer help from a 7-year-old.
That's adorable.
And people were so excited. Friends of the library, so excited about this. And it's just wonderful to have volunteers like that. And we had volunteers in the library from the beginning. And I couldn't function without volunteers. I love volunteers, always have. And so the Friends of the Library have been wonderful help. And it's just been a delight to me. What a joy to work with folks like Dr. Geisler and the Hout brothers, Dr. Leventhal. Great privilege.